Hey, welcome to the October 4th Father, Son, and Holy Sport NFL show. I'm G-Man here in Ohio. I got my man T Money. What's up, T?
What's going on, man? Excited to be in Ohio. Bengals get another victory. It's good times all around right now.
Oh, yeah, you're riding the Bengals, aren't you, Ohio guy?
Right.
Doggone it. Hey, what'd you think of the Monday night performance? Got San Fran and LA going at it. San Fran dealt them a blow, man.
I mean, has the Ram just fallen off a cliff? My God, who thought Andrew Whitworth retiring and Von Miller leaving would have been this big of a problem? But it looks like it, and they are struggling right now. I'm worried they might not even make the playoffs.
Yeah, I think they'll make the playoffs because they have Cooper, my man, Kupp on that team. The only he's not the only fantasy relevant guy. Higbee also is too. Hey, how about some of the other games? Josh Allen rallies Buffalo from behind. Buffalo still hanging around, man. You got Mahomes right there, man. The two AFC leaders. Mahomes gets the victory against Tom Brady. So you got those two top teams. They keep winning in the AFC.
Yep. Good games all around. It was awesome weekend.
Hey, NFL Week 5 coming up here, man. This is Tuesday, so keep that in mind when we're giving you our bets and our picks and stuff. But hey, Week 5, Thursday night, it starts off with Indy traveling to Denver. The Colts 1-2-1. The Broncos 2-2. It's a Thursday night game, man, at Denver. What do you think, man? 8:15 start. Any thoughts on that?
Man,
both coming off a loss.
If the Broncos lose this one, Nathaniel Hackett might be in trouble. I mean, that's going to be serious. He loses this one. He just hasn't looked like an NFL coach yet.
T Money always bringing it, man. Hey, do us a favor, y'all. Press that like and subscribe. We appreciate your support, man. Hey, let's kick things off with the Ross Rundown. Take you around the NFL, cover some hot topics, give you some ideas for fantasy and betting, and maybe just for your viewing pleasure. Let's go, T Money. First, I'm going to talk to you about Dallas quarterback situation. Is Cooper Rush as good as Dak Prescott? What do you think?
I mean, I feel like he's a lesser version of Dak Prescott, but in the same way, could be good for this team. They're paying Dak $45 million. And is he really that much of a difference maker at this point? Like, Cooper Rush is 3-0 and is the first quarterback to ever start 4-0 in his career with a passer rating above 95. Okay, so this guy has been performing well. Now, last week, he did throw 2 picks, but it got overturned by flags. So let's not get lost in this Cooper Rush fodder. Dak Prescott is definitely better. But long-term here, could they trade Dak Prescott for some assets, reload this team, and he's maybe like Jimmy Garoppolo light, right? Just saying. He's probably way better than Jimmy Garoppolo. But
the $45 million, that's a good point. But if Cooper Rush took the Cowboys to the Super Bowl and won it, he'd make $45 million too. So, that's what it's worth to win with the Cowboys. But that's something Dak has not done in the playoffs. Yeah. He racks up these stats and during the regular season. He has not done it in the playoffs. I don't know if Cooper Rush can do in the playoffs either.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what they do here. I think they shouldn't rush Dak Prescott back now. Cooper Rush has kind of given them a longer runway because he's won 3 games in a row that they shouldn't have won anyways. And so now Dak can take his time. I mean, these bad games from Cooper Rush are going to come. Let's be honest. It's just Cowboys talk. That's why they're on our show, because they're the Cowboys, right? Cooper Rush is not better than Dak Prescott.
America's team, baby.
But long-term, I think this can help the Cowboys get Dak healthy in the long term.
Hey, Dallas has the Rams this week. Rams favored by 4 after we got done just talking about how bad they were on Monday night. And yet they're favored in this one against Dallas. And they got a tough D. I mean, that's really going to put the pressure on Cooper Rush. Can he do something against that Aaron Donald and the rest of that defensive unit?
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see what he does versus that defense. And also, I mean, Nick Bosa just destroyed the Rams. 14 total pressures just from Nick Bosa. The Rams only had 5 as a team. So with Micah Parsons coming into town, it's going to be interesting.
Nick Bosa, baby. Look at biceps. Nick.
Well, let's go on.
Tough guy.
To the Seattle Seahawks and a different type of quarterback controversy. They go with Geno Smith after trading Russell Wilson away. And let me know, was it the right move now to move off of Russell Wilson?
Well, Can Geno keep doing what he's doing? Because if he can, then yes, it was. But can Geno keep it up? Denver gave up their first and second round pick in the next two drafts.
Yeah.
For seemingly a better quarterback in Geno Smith. Can you believe that? That's what this deal looks like right now. Geno Smith is better than Tom Brady. He's better than Aaron Rodgers. He's better than Joe Burrow. And yes, even Russell Wilson on the stat line this season.
Yeah.
He's better than all of them. He's top in the NFL in completion percentage, 77%
impressive
completion percentage. So if he keeps that up, hell of a deal.
Oh, I know it. Geno Smith, I mean, good for him for having a resurgence of a career here. He's beating Russell Wilson in total touchdowns. He's beating him in yards. He's beating him in passer rating. I mean, it's a pretty impressive what he's doing right now. And I'm happy for him. I think now, 2020 hindsight, yeah, Russell Wilson looks like he is done.
Right? Well, that's the thing is Russell has not really picked it up. He looks like he did last year. Russell Wilson is not really performing. Be different if Russ was like, had his team in first place, but he doesn't. Russ is not doing well, and Geno is. So the pendulum's totally swung. Seahawks and Geno take on the Saints Sunday at 1. They're a 6-point dog. Can Geno overcome that and win this game?
I think they can. I mean, they've proven that they can put up a lot of points. It just, total. It was a scoring fest with the Detroit Lions. Who would have thought we'd be saying that about the Seahawks and the Lions? But I think the Saints are looking wishy-washy, and I think that they can definitely keep up with the Saints here. Russell Wilson, you better win Thursday night. The crowd is getting loud, and they just extended him. They're locked into him for another 5 to 6 years now. So this looks like Seahawks might have made the right move moving on early from Russell Wilson.
It does right now. Hey, let's go on to another hot team, the Eagles. They're the only undefeated team in the league, man. Who would have thought that when we first started the season? Team Money, are they the best team in the NFL?
No. No, they're not. It's still the Chiefs. That team looks legit right now. Patrick Mahomes looks like he hasn't missed a beat. He's throwing to backup tight ends. He's throwing to second string running backs, doing circus shots. Travis Kelce's better than ever. And that offensive line looks better than ever. Almost put up 200 yards on the Bucs. And so that rushing on the Bucs. So yeah, I think that the Chiefs are the best. The Eagles, I think they're good top 5 team. Good for them. I think they're, like I said earlier in the year, Jalen Hurts isn't the best quarterback. But that team might be top to bottom the best in the NFL. All, 22 starters might be the best compiled team in the NFL, right? So I love the Eagles. They look like a top 5 team to me right now. But I think the Chiefs, I like the Bills, the Ravens, some of these other teams. The San Francisco 49ers look crazy, even though Jimmy G's bad. I don't want to give the Eagles too much leeway. They were down 14 points to the Jags this weekend. So let's pump the brakes for a second here. I like the Eagles a lot. Love Jalen Hurts.
Okay, I agree with what you said. I like your points. Good points. Super Bowl 57 odds, everybody. Top 5. Buffalo Bills, who you kind of downplayed right there. Yeah. Kansas City Chiefs, number 2. Eagles, 3. Number 4, Tampa Bay. Yeah. And number 5, your man Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay. Those are the top 5 for the Super Bowl. Odds to win the Super Bowl. Question for Team Money, though. There's only 3 teams in the AFC with a 1 loss. Okay? And we know Buffalo and Kansas City are 2 of them. Who's the third one?
Give me a quick second here. Is that the Giants?
It's the Dolphins.
Oh, okay.
Giants are in the NFC.
That's right.
I know I hit you off the, it got you cold there. Trying to loosen you up
here. The Giants are 3-1.
I'm getting you ready.
The Giants are 3-1.
But how about Buffalo, Kansas City, and Miami? Are the leaders in that AFC? That's pretty crazy, huh?
Pretty crazy.
All right.
Well, I want to ask you here that Pittsburgh Steelers lose this weekend to the Jets, but they did switch quarterbacks finally because Mitchell Trubisky ended up being Mitchell Trubisky. So Kenny Pickett is now the starter moving forward. And do you think that's the right move?
Oh, yeah, it's the right move. I mean, we said, let's start with Trubisky. Let's get Pickett in there at some point. We were looking at his schedule before we started the season. When we're going to get Pickett in there? He came in. He added a spark to them. He gave them something that they did not have before. Trubisky really just played like you said, like Trubisky. Now Pickett's in there. He's got the reins. A good move.
Yeah, I totally agree. He should have been in from the beginning. Why the hell did you start Trubisky in the first place?
No, I was
You know,
okay with that.
I just think if this is what you were seeing in practice, like we thought, okay, well, he must not be showing it out in practice. But if Trubisky was playing like this in practice, I don't know why they were starting him in the first place. We agreed they should let Pickett sit a little bit, but throw him to the Wolves. It can't get much worse than how Trubisky's been playing. So I'm fine with it. I like Pickett. Like you said, he gave a spark. George Pickens looks like maybe the top wide receiver on that team now with Pickett back there. So we'll see if this offense gets a little more dynamic now with Pickett at the helm.
The division is winnable. You look at this division here with the Browns, Bengals, and Ravens, all 2-2. The Steelers are only one game back at 1-3. All of a sudden, this division's winnable, even for the Steelers.
Yeah.
Hey, man, Pittsburgh, they're not getting the points. They're not getting the offense, but if Pickett can pick that up, every team in this division is 500 or worse. So Pittsburgh still has a shot at this thing.
I would say yes if TJ Watt was healthy.
I mean, this division is up for grabs here, baby.
If TJ Watt was healthy, I would agree with you.
Pickett will have some work to do to get the Steelers back on the winning track. They face the Bills on the road Sunday afternoon, man. Bills are favored by 14. You don't see double-digit favorites in the NFL, and they're favored by 14. So going to be hard sledding to go up against the Bills.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go on to the NFC. Let's switch over, talk a little NFC, talk about the Bucs. The Bucs lose to the Chiefs. And what do you think, man? Are you worried about the Bucs right now after that loss?
No, because the NFC is so weak. And I mean, they still put up 31 points. It was actually more like 24 if you were watching the game, a lot of garbage time, but 31 points versus the Chiefs. So the offense was still okay. The defense got moved around by the best quarterback in the NFL. So, I think luckily for them, they play in maybe the worst division in the NFL. Carolina looks horrible. The Falcons look okay. And then the Saints don't know what the heck they are. So I think they're going to probably win all 6 of those games. And the rest of the NFC is pretty mediocre. I mean, if we're talking about the Eagles, the Packers, or the Bucs coming out of the NFC as favorites right now, like I think we'd all think the Bucs are the best of that group. So I wouldn't be worried. Tom Brady's still your quarterback. Your weapons are just getting back and healthy. The O-line still needs time to get, healthy and get used to playing with each other after some injuries. I'm fine if I'm the Bucs. Let's pump the brakes. But,
No, I agree with you. I agree with you, man. I think these are the two teams. These are the teams that are heading for a collision in the Super Bowl. They're heading, and they just had a battle. Brady looked like an MVP, looked great. He's got Evans and Godwin back. They're looking great together.
Yeah.
And they got Lenny in the backfield. They've got a team, man. Their offense looked great, and Brady looked great. It's that defense that could not stop Kansas City. They could not stop them. That Tampa Bay defense, they surrendered the most points of any Todd Bowles defense, the most points he's ever surrendered in his coaching career. Yeah. And they were terrible on third down and the red zone. So they did not get the job done, or that Kansas City offense is completely unstoppable.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And it was a weird night for the Bucs offense as well. They couldn't get the run game going. And so Tom Brady set a record, which is rare for him, set a record for the most pass attempts consecutively. They didn't run the ball. I think it was almost 20 pass attempts in a row, which is the most in his career. So that's something weird to keep an eye out. They haven't been able to run the ball with their left tackle and their center going down earlier this offseason. I don't know if Brady trusts these guys to move the ball, so he's got to get the ball out quick. But yeah, the defense, they should be a top 5 defense, but it's just Patrick Mahomes. So I think we both agree they shouldn't worry.
And going into week 5, both these teams are heavy favorites. The Bucs and the Chiefs, both favored by more than 7. So they probably will keep rolling. Chiefs return to Arrowhead. They're on Monday Night Football against the Raiders. They're favored big. The Bucs stay in Tampa. The Falcons come into town, and they're favored big to beat the Falcons. So these two teams are going to continue to roll.
Yep. Great if we can see them in the Super Bowl again. What a matchup that would be. But let's go back here to the NFC North. I know we just talked about them a little bit, but I want to ask you another follow-up question here. Okay, because you were just talking about this division being wide open, but I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Well, it's a new division.
Okay.
I was talking about the AFC North.
Oh, yeah. So sorry, the NFC North here. We've had a lot of competition with the Vikings and the Packers going back and forth. Two teams that are 3-1. Who's gonna win this division now?
Well, it's not the two teams that are at the bottom. The
No.
Bears and the Lions do not win this division. It's the Packers or the Vikings. I picked the Packers before the season. You picked the Vikings.
Yeah.
You still staying with your pick? I'm staying with mine.
Okay. If we're both, I didn't know if you were wavering.
I'm staying with my pick.
I haven't liked the way the Packers have looked.
You still like your Vikings then?
Yeah, I still like the Vikings.
Okay, I still like my Packers. They have the best quarterback.
Okay. Well,
Why
I
not
think
go with
the
the best
best
quarterback?
team might be the Vikings.
The Packers have won 3 in a row. They have momentum and they have the best quarterback. I still like the Packers.
Okay. Yeah, I think the Vikings, they're going to play Chicago this weekend. That should be an easy win for them. I think the Packers have struggled, and in big time moments, they've gotten lucky with their defense. They played some down teams. They should have lost to the Patriots. I mean, that's embarrassing in itself. So I'll take the Vikings, man. I think they're heading in the right direction. As long as Kirk Cousins doesn't have to play in prime time, they're going to win 11 games.
I mean, we know there's only one undefeated team. There's only a few that have one loss, and these are 2 of them. So they're 2 of the better teams in the NFC. And you're right, the Vikings favored by 7 over the Bears. The Packers favored by 9 over the Giants. So they both, are favored heavily going into this weekend. Should win again. These are 2 of the better teams in that NFC that's up for grabs.
Yeah.
Hey, hello? Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I got you. Control room producer. Hey, from the rolling plains of Western Ohio, it's Cousin Randy. Cousin Randy bringing us this week's Chug and Chant. Let's go to him now.
Hey, welcome into this week's Chug and Chant. It's Cousin Randy here in the all black because it's someone's funeral. Let me get this chug in and then we'll chant. All right. Got my grandfather clock here because the clock's striking 12 on Bill Belichick, baby. I'm dressed in black for his funeral. It's time for this guy to retire. It's over. Defense is doing everything it can to win this game, and they still can't win, okay? I'm done. They're 1-3. Bailey Zappi's gotten to come in and save this guy because he's got the most uncreative offense ever. He's trying to outsmart the system, putting 2 defensive guys, special teams guys as his offensive guys. It's the most boring team to ever watch. The Patriots are done, man. They're getting left in the dust. He can't draft. He can't sign good free agents. He lets all his good guys go. And everyone says it's boring as hell there. And no one wants to actually play for the Patriots. The dynasty's over now that Brady's gone. And it's time for Bill Belichick to go golf down in Florida because he needs to retire. Let's all take a moment of silence. Take a sip of your drink. Because Bill Belichick's got to retire. G-Man, T-Money, what do you think?
Oh, Randy in all black, like the New Zealand, all black.
Yeah.
Randy sporting the funeral gear, saying the dynasty's over. And do I agree with that? I'm a little concerned. I mean, Belichick has always overcome the challenges in the past. People thought he was going down, but he had Brady. So I'm a little concerned. I don't know about you. Are you?
I think I'm on the same path as Cousin Randy here. I don't know if Bill Belichick's going to retire, but the Patriots certainly are not making the playoffs. The Dolphins, even with Teddy Bridgewater, look better than the Patriots do. I mean, it's going to be a sad, sad year for these guys. I don't know if they're better than the Jets. Are they better than the Jets?
They're behind the Jets right now.
I genuinely don't know if they're better than the Jets. And
that might not be better than the Jets.
That's the biggest insult to Patriots fans everywhere. Right there. If you're not better than the Jets, is it time to rethink what the hell's going on up there?
Who the heck is the play caller on this offense? You complained about this in the preseason, T-Money. You called this. You saw this coming. Like a board of directors looking at the CEO. You said they need a signal caller, and they still don't have it. And I hear Julian Edelman on his podcast in Boston says, I think it's going to be a collaborative effort between Bill Judge and Matty P. That's a funny combination.
Which isn't what you want. You don't want 3 voices in your quarterback's ear. You need consistency, especially with these young guys. And now, I mean, Zappe comes in and makes Mac Jones. He looks like Mac Jones. That's how simple this offense is. and how bad Mac Jones is. Mac Jones is a worse version of Jimmy G, basically. And as long
you're just throwing the rib shots today, man.
I'm just saying, as long as they have a run game, they're just gonna like first option read, throw it to that guy because it's the most uncreative offense I've ever seen.
But they got to go back to their fundamentals. They got to improve the defense. That defense has always been number one.
Yeah,
they have to improve the defense. Not that it's bad, but it needs to be elite. They can do that. So moving over to the offense, they got to be able to run the ball. They have two great running backs, Ramonde and Damian. They can run with those guys. So they got to get back to their roots, man, and just be who they are. Don't try to be something that you're not.
I agree. It's going to be a rough season for these Patriots.
Hey, the Patriots were without Mac Jones in their last game due to his ankle. Brian Hoyer goes out of the game with a head injury, and your buddy Zappi comes in. He didn't look too bad, but we don't know who's going to start in the upcoming game. Have you got the latest? You got any updates here on Tuesday? What's going on here?
They're not going to tell us anything.
The Patriots are favored against the Lions. Can they do it? Can they beat the Lions team? They're favored. Vegas must know something, man. They're just going to have to take one of these games at a time. They've not started well. The silver, red, and blue. Man, they got to pick it up.
Yeah.
Hey, let's switch on over and let's talk about some big bets, baby. Let's get you ready. And we are going to talk about our picks of the week. Let's shift our gears. Win you some cash, y'all. Are you ready? Hey, G-Man last week, 2-0. Woo! On his picks against the spread. So, hey, listen up, y'all. Let's go to the lock pick of the week. Team Money going first on the lock pick. Team Money, who you got, man? Who's going to win it? Who's a surefire bet for any of our viewers?
All right. I'm taking the Chargers -3 versus the Browns. They're both 2-2, so you might say these teams are close, and they are not.
Cali over Ohio,
They are not close. The Browns just lost to the Falcons. The Chargers look like they're bouncing back from a couple tough weeks. You know, they've already lost to the Chiefs. They played them tough. I think these Chargers are going to just roll the Browns. I think they have a better offense. I think they have a better defense. I think they're better coached, better quarterback. I mean, there's not really a position other than running back that I can point to why the Chargers wouldn't be better than the Browns. So Chargers -3.
-3 on the Chargers. Yes. Okay, man. Hey, I like your pick. I'm going to go to FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland, where the Washington Commanders are hosting the Tennessee Titans. Titans favored by 2.5. I'm going Titans here, man. The offense has struggled, but they have found their groove. They're averaging 24 points in the last 2 games, 24 points a game. Washington has the 4th worst scoring defense in the NFL. That means they're going to get that 24, maybe more. I think if they get 24, they win the game. Listen to this, though. Washington, 0-5 straight up in its last 5 games played in October.
Wow.
They have not won a game in October. Tennessee, 7-3 against the spread in its last 10 games against Washington. Hey, man, give me the Titans to cover the 2.5 for my lock pick of the week.
All right, I like it. Washington's headed in the wrong direction right now.
All right.
My dog lock.
Who's your dog lock?
My dog lock of the week. I'm going Lions +3 versus the Patriots.
Oh, okay? You don't like that Patriot favorite?
I'm out on the Patriots completely. The Lions just put up 30+ points. They've been rallying each week, man. They look poised and ready to go on a little win streak here. I like what Dan Campbell's doing there. I don't trust the Patriots offense, whoever their quarterback is, to put up more than 20 points. And so I think the Lions are going to win this game outright.
Well, you and Cousin Randy are on the same page. Hey, for my dog log, let's go to SoFi Stadium where the Rams host the Cowboys. At one of the 3 Sunday late afternoon games, Rams favored by 6 right now. I just think that it's too much, these 6 points here for the Rams. Did not look great against that San Fran D. I think they're going to have the same trouble with the Cowboys D. That Cowboys D is for real. This is going to be a low-scoring game, and the total has hit under in almost all the Dallas and Rams games so far. Yeah. It's going to be low scoring, maybe a little parlay bonus pick for you there, Team Money.
All right.
Looking at the under along with the Cowboys here. Dallas also, little stat for you. Dallas is 7-3 against the spread in its last 10 games. I think they beat it again. Give me the Cowboys +6 for my dog lock pick of the week. Cowboys +6.
All right.
Come on, man.
All right. Well, before we finish with the big bets here, let's go back to G-Man's player prop of the week, baby. Let's hear it. What you got for us, G-Man?
Well, hey, I like two offenses that are rolling, and I think they're going to roll again. I like the Detroit offense against those Patriots. You talked about it.
Yep.
I think put some player props down on Goff and Hawkinson. It's only Tuesday, so all the props aren't out there. But look at the props for yards and touchdowns, either on Goff and Hawkinson. Those two guys together both just blew it up last week. I think they're going to do it again. Look at that one. Also look at the Tampa offense with Brady and Evans or Godwin versus the Falcons. Look at completions, receptions, touchdowns to beat their numbers. Brady, Evans, Godwin on that Tampa offense.
All right.
What do you think of that?
I like him.
Okay. All right. I know that some of your guys right there.
Yeah.
All right, man. Hey, let's go, you fantasy managers. You guys ready? Fantasy enthusiasts? Let's talk some fantasy and some DFS with you with our fantasy segment of the show. We have two games we're going to play with here for your viewing entertainment. Keep in mind it is Tuesday right now. We're going to kick it off with our first game called Hot and Cold. You guys who watch the show, you know what we're talking about. I give you the hot, Team Money gives you the cold. I'm going to try to find you players who are borderline starters that you should start, or somebody that you get a value on in DFS. Should be pretty much the same. Team Money going to tell you what, watch out, watch out. Don't play that guy. He's going to be cold. Do not start him or he's going to break your heart. That's Team Money. Let's go to quarterback, okay? I told you last week to start Jared Goff. Did you all listen to me? Did you all start Jared Goff last week? I told you Jared Goff. He was QB1.
You did.
In the whole league, man. My upside hot pick for quarterback. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going back to him this week.
Ooh,
Jared Goff, one more time. He threw for 378 yards last week with 4 touchdowns. Put up 45 points.
Wow.
And he did not have DeAndre Swift, Amon St. Brown. He did not have them on his team. So you know who he went to? TJ Hawkinson. Is all this kind of fitting together for you? Watch out for TJ and Goff again. The Lions at New England getting 3 points. New England's ranked 26 in the league against opposing fantasy quarterbacks. Goff goes off. He's a great play on DraftKings, $6,100. Fire him up and start him. Jared Goff, upside. Quarterback hot pick of the week, G-Man.
Oh, man. I don't know how I follow that kind of energy. 2 weeks in a row with Jared Goff. A
guy that I didn't even like in L.A.
My cold QB of the week here is Kyler Murray. He's projected 18.1 versus the Eagles. The Eagles might have a top defense in the league, maybe the two best corners on the same team in the league. Right now, they're the 4th best team in fantasy versus QBs. Ooh. The QBs that have played them the last 4 weeks have averaged 12, 8, 8, and 5. Okay.
Ooh.
So buyers beware here. They have a phenomenal front seven. They're going to put pressure on this guy and be able to contain him. I know he's averaging over 20 points a game. He's ranked number 6. You know, especially in DFS, this is not a guy I want to touch. And if you have someone on your bench that you can trust, like Jared Goff, I'd go with him because Kyler's not going to have a good game this week. And this guy's known as being a roller coaster. Great game, bad game, great game, bad game. I'm not trusting him.
All you Kyler managers, take Kyler off, put Goff in, man. Hey, we're telling you, father-son sports, baby. We're bringing it to you. Let's go to running back. Who's the hot running back from G-Man? How about Damian Harris from the New England Patriots? I like Damian, and I like Ramondre. I think they're both going to have good games here. I just think that Damian Harris is getting the ball at the goal line, and he's actually getting more carries. Ramondre's in on more snaps. But I think Harris beats him out here. Ramondre still has a good game and certainly like Ramondre better on PPR. So they're very close, but I'm going to give you Damian Harris there in this game where they're going to run the heck out of the ball. They're not going to throw a lot in this game. Zappy, they're not going to put it all on him. They're going to run this ball. If you're playing DFS, Harris is a great buy on DraftKings, $5,600. Damian Harris is a start on my upside RB hot pick of the week.
All right. Sounds good. Patriots offense wasn't going to throw much regardless of who was the quarterback. My cold running back of the week is David Montgomery coming back from injury for the Chicago Bears.
Is he starting?
Projected for 14.4 versus the Vikings. Vikings, good defense. I like the Vikings. I'm high on these guys this year. In the beginning of the season, even when David Montgomery was healthy before he got hurt, he had 8 points.
Yeah.
And then he had 15 points. Now Khalil Herbert looks like that dude. So they're going to be splitting carries, I think, regardless.
Yeah.
So I don't trust
risky start
to get 14.5 points. No way. I think Khalil Herbert might outsnap him, but Montgomery may get some goal line snaps. So look for Khalil Herbert in your DFS because you could get him as a steal right now if Montgomery starts, and especially in your actual leagues. Montgomery is someone I definitely don't want to start until I see how these two coexist. Now that he's coming back from injury and Khalil's had 2 weeks to be the main guy.
Smart pick. Let's go to the wide receiver. I'm going to the hot wide receiver. I'm going with Robert Woods here against Washington. Woods piled up 13 targets in the last 2 games. That's a lot of targets. He got 9 catches and 2 touchdowns in the last 2 games. Treylon Burks is out with a toe injury. Woods is now the leader in Tennessee, baby.
Yeah.
I told you Tennessee is going to win this week. All right. That's one of my bets. All right. He's going to continue. He's averaging 12.8 yards per reception over his last 2 contests. He's got a great matchup here. Washington's ranked 24th against the pass. And if you're playing DFS, Woods is a great buy. $5,200. That's it. Plug him into your starting lineup. Robert Woods, my upside wide receiver hot pick of the week.
All right. I like it. The only wide receiver going to be out there. So smart play here. My cold receiver of the week, though, Drake London.
Ooh, hot name right there.
All right. He's becoming an up-and-coming guy. He's a rookie. He's been playing well. He's projected for 15.3 versus Tampa Bay, though. And this is kind of weirding me out. I don't know why. What does fantasy people know? He's only had 1 game over 14.4, all right, out of his 4 games. So I don't know where this projection's coming from. And Tampa might have the best defense in the league right now. So I do not trust him to get to that. And, with Patterson being hurt especially, they're going to focus on the wide receivers. So I think that this is a bad idea. Pitts is having a bad year already, it seems like, or they're not going to him. So all the focus is going to be on Drake London. 15.3 seems like a big ass from a guy who's only gone over 15 one time in his career so far.
Good pick. I like that pick. Hey, summarizing now with the DFS lineup. You guys playing DFS lineups? Here's my team, man. I'm going to give you most of them. Jared Goff, I said, put him in a quarterback and stack him with Hawkinson at tight end, the 2 of them together. We got Damon Harris at the running back. And because I bought some high value there, I was able to get Barkley at the running back. And then we go to wide receiver. I said pick up Woods. He's a great value at 5,200. I added in Chase and Godwin. I told you to get Godwin on props. So there he is. And that's my team with the flex and the DST on top of that.
All right. I like it.
All right. Let's go to our next game. Okay. We're wrapping things up here as we roll through. You fantasy managers, Team Money knows what he's talking about.
Come on.
And we're going to show you right here on Take or Mistake, our next game here. Take a mistake. T does not know who I'm going to ask him about, and he's going to tell us whether we should take the bait on this hot player this week or if last week was a mistake. Okay, we're going to start off at QB, Cooper Rush, Dallas quarterback. Rush completed 15 of 27 passes for 223 yards and 2 touchdowns, had 18 fantasy points against Washington on Sunday. He has the Cowboys on a 3-game winning streak. Assuming Dak does not return in week 5, can fantasy managers start Cooper Rush on the road at the Rams? T-Money. Is Cooper Rush a take this week as a starter in fantasy lineups, or would that be a mistake?
I cannot believe you gave me Cooper Rush as no, it's a mistake.
You think he had 18 fantasy points?
Well, he should have had 14. Like I said earlier in the show, 2 picks got called back for flags, on the defense. So let's pump the brakes. And he's also going up against the Giants, not Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. So this is a mistake. I don't think he gets 12 points.
Don't you love T-Money, everybody? He's great in this game. This is his favorite game. All right, let's go to the running back, T-Money. We're going to talk about Rashad Penny out of Seattle. Penny rushed 17 times for 151 and 2 touchdowns, and he brought in a target. They score 48 points and win. Penny picks up 28 fantasy points after only having 8 the week before. He's now averaging 6 yards per carry.
Yeah.
But can fantasy managers count on him to keep it going in a tough Week 5 road matchup against the Saints' talented defensive front? Team Money, is Rashad Penny a take as a must-start RB this week, or would that be a mistake?
I am very worried about the Saints front, but it seems like Seattle is rolling offensively right now, and you got to ride that wave. So I think it's a take.
You're starting Penny.
Penny's gotten even higher snap share now. Kenneth Walker is kind of falling to the wayside because of how well Penny's performing. So I think this is a take until Penny proves he's not an RB1 type guy. He's not going to get 28, but he could easily put up 18 for sure.
Okay. We got a mistake and a take out of you so far. Let's finish it up here, wrapping it up here with the wide receiver. Let's go to the Jets. Corey Davis. Davis got 5 of 7 targets for 74 yards and a touchdown in Sunday's win over the Steelers. He led the team in targets, catches, and receiving yards. Can fantasy managers count on the 6'3" wide receiver to add another touchdown in Week 5 against the Dolphins? Team Money, is Corey Davis a take as a must-start fantasy wide receiver this week, or would that be a mistake?
Must start. I'm going to go mistake. I need to see where this offense goes before I do anything, right? I think there's too many good weapons right now. Conklin seems to be a pretty dang good tight end. They have 2 solid running backs. They have Garrett Wilson. They have Elijah Moore. They have Corey Davis. I don't know who's going to get the ball. And Zach Wilson hasn't even played until last week. So I don't know if I trust Corey Davis to be a starter yet, because I just need to see more. Like it. I think every week someone else is going to have a great week. Garrett Wilson went crazy the other week, right? Breece Hall had a great game. Michael Carter's first game was good. Like, I don't know who. There's too many equal points and unknowns in this offense. Zach Wilson's played 1 game. It's a mistake to start this guy so soon. Like, a lot of good other players out there to start other than Corey Davis.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Hey, that's it for our show today, everybody. We love that you joined us. We hope you had fun and got some good ideas for tips and some good content for you. Check us out, man. Check out our segments where you consume your social. We're everywhere. Look for us at Father, Son, and Holy Sport. On behalf of Team Money, I'm G-Man. Enjoy the games and see you all next week.
All right. Peace.